on in, go ahead and move into the body a little bit. And again, just prepare your space. Make sure that you won't have distractions. When you are at home and practicing, you really have to make sure that the distractions are at the minimum. Even maybe put the phone out of the room in case there would be a message that you would see pop up. Really just dedicate this time to yourself. Today's class, we're focusing in on air, and one of our focuses that I'm going to speak of is Vata, which is this, in Ayurveda, which is yoga's sister science. It teaches that everything is made up of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and air and ether kind of translate into Vata. And we're going to focus today on calming our Vata, calming the air, calming the space around us. And so as you're coming in, good morning, hello, so nice to see everybody. What a weird world that we live in, but so grateful that we can still connect this way. And let's get started. We're going to start off in lightning bolt pose, coming up to a kneeling position. If you have your blanket, you can kneel on it or sit on it in between the heels and the hips, coming to lift nice and tall. And we're going to take a mudra today, a position with the hands. When we do our asana practice, we place our body in positions, warrior one or downward dog. Mudra is a position for the hands. And so I'll come a little closer to the camera here so that you can see. And we're going to take a Vayu mudra, which is placing the pad of the thumb to the knuckle of the first finger and trying to bring the index finger of the pad of the index finger down to the thumb, and then you press the thumb to that first knuckle, making this kind of smooshed okay symbol. And then you'll do that with both sides. Oh, I see who's in my corner. I knew I came over here for a reason. Good morning, my beautiful sister. And so Vayu mudra, pressing in and then sitting in lightning bolt pose. And I like to sit on my blanket. And then you'll hold the mudra gently on your lap. Shoulders relaxed, tops of the feet pressing in. You can tuck the heels inward toward each other so you can feel that support in the sit bones. And if there's any pain or discomfort in your knees, you can come to sit in easy pose or staff pose or even sit in a chair. And we'll hold this mudra and close your eyes and just start to breathe deeper. Just notice your breath. Without any other information than breathe deeper, close your eyes and breathe deeper and just notice. Day 12 of our community yoga, a place where we can come and join each other for an hour of self-care, community, and love. Connecting to the air and the space around us today, connecting to the wind around us. Vayu mudra here, just connecting all of that space. Listening to your breath. Breathe deeply from the belly. Start to notice a fuller breath creating itself from the belly all the way up. Sitting even taller, shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Relax your teeth away from each other. Notice if you're clenching your jaw and just let that soften, let your tongue soften, your eyes soften. We're going to take a form of alternate nostril breath in which we're not going to touch our face. This is one of those very beneficial breath exercises to calm and create mindfulness in the body, which just lends to a happier life overall when you can really be mindful about what you're doing. But there's so many ways to do a breath exercise. And so today we're not going to touch our face at all. They had even made a joke that somebody was using kitchen tongs to do the alternate nostril breathing right now because we're not supposed to touch our faces, but we're just going to turn our head with our breathing. So take a nice slow inhale in center. Breathe from the belly into the lungs, still holding that mudra comfortably on your lap. Exhale fully. And very simply, turn your face to the left as you inhale. And as you exhale, come back to center, just moving into the neck. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale as you turn the face to the right. Imagining that you're able to pull a little bit more breath into that right nostril. And exhale slowly back to center. We're just moving the face and the neck here, inhaling as you turn left. And exhaling as you turn center, just being okay with slowing down and noticing how you're breathing right here. We'll do this for about a minute. The inhale, you're turning your face one way, then the other. The exhale, you're gliding the face back to center. This kind of breathing, this alternate breath that we're going for brings balance into the hemispheres of the brain. Brings balance into our left and right sides of the body. And again, really just creates this lovely mindfulness that we can carry with us throughout the rest of our day. The exhale brings you center, and the inhale takes you one side, then the other. We'll take about 5 more rounds. Really connect to the breath at the belly. We're watching it at the nose as well and turning, but make sure you're taking that fullness of breath at the belly. Everything relaxed here. Take one more round each side, and next time you inhale right, you will exhale center and just return to breathing center. And then tuck your chin to your chest. Focus in on your hands for a moment. This mudra is meant to be quite good for balancing the airs in the body. Any kind of digestive issues you might have, this is said to have great effect to be able to sit, especially in this pose, lightning bolt pose. So good for digestion. Lift up into the face. Stretch out into the hands. Release that mudra, that position. Roll the wrists. And then let's bring some feeling back into our ankles and feet. Move your blanket out of the way and come on up and over to downward facing dog. And pedal into the feet. Be really therapeutic here in probably your first dog pose of the day. Moving gently side to side, bending into the knees, twisting into the hips. Walk the hands back, find a forward fold, really comfortable, bend the knees. Again, just continue to move into one side, then the other. Come into a half lift. Stretch the spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, fold in, knees can bend. Press through the feet, reach through the arms, stretch it out. Bring your hands to your heart, thumbs to the chest, shoulders relaxed. Feet pressing in Tadasana pose. Bring your hands down to your sides. Find your Vayu mudra here in Tadasana pose, a generous wide-legged or hip distance pose here. The pad of the thumb pressing to that first top knuckle of the index finger, and the pad of the index finger trying to press to the base of the thumb. Spread out through the rest of your fingers, just observing if that's a tight feeling for you in one hand or the other. Feel the stretch through the front of the wrist. We'll move into some half salutes, holding this mudra, when you start to direct the energy purposely through the body, interesting things start to happen. So we'll hold this mudra through our sun salutations and just notice what happens for you. Press into your feet. As you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, fold in from the hips, nice and slow. Hands can float to the shins, still hold that mudra. Exhale, fold in. All the way up, press through the feet, reach through the arms. And hands to your sides, Tadasana pose. 2 more like that. Wake up through the body. Feel a sense of calm as you inhale, breathing tall. Exhale, fold in, stretch the back of your body. Lift your heart. And fold, listening to your breath all the way up. Hands to your sides. 1 more. Stretch through the fingers, stretch through the arms, reach up. Exhale, fold in, calming breath. Heart lifts and fold. All the way up, press through the feet, reach through the arms. Hands to your sides, Tadasana pose, eyes dropped, close, Vayu mudra. Just letting the airs in the body balance. When the vata, the air in the body, is out of balance, it can translate into a great feeling of overwhelm, anxiety, panic. And when I walked into yoga teacher training, they were speaking this language like it was normal, this vata, pitta, kapha. And then I just thought it was insane. And the more I learned, the more I realized we all have a vata problem. Let's balance. Release the hands, roll into the wrists. And let's find a little bit of empowering movement here and bring some grounding to the body, bring some air into the rest of our body. Step to the top of your mat, feet press in, arms reach down, reach through the sides of your neck. Relax your jaw. Open into the belly. Connect to your breath, expanding into the belly, into the lungs, into the shoulders. That exhale is so important. Get rid of the air, belly pressing toward the spine, listening to your breath. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, look up. As you exhale, fold in nice and calm, just floating with the breath. Lift your heart, half lift, hands to your shins. Step back nice and slow to downward dog. And then you come forward, plank pose, and knees drop down. Inhale here to supported plank pose. As you exhale, slowly lower all the way to the earth. Try to hold yourself still. Tops of the feet to the earth. Lift up, cobra pose, and let's breathe here. 3 rounds. Slow and steady. Last breath. Feel the whole body lift on the inhale and sink on the exhale. Stretch back, child's pose. Forehead to the earth if it's comfortable. Otherwise, just come up into a nice soft position for the body. Let the face relax, the jaw relax. And listen to your breath here. Today's class all about honoring this, this oxygen that flows through us and keeps us going. And lift up. Tabletop position, hands press in, knees press in nice and long. Stretch out through the tailbone, stretch out through the crown of the head. As you inhale, belly drops, come to a cow pose, and let's hold cow pose. Really concentrate here on finding that lift of the heart of the shoulders. Exhale, curl and round. Find your cat stretch. Slow breathing. Belly presses toward the spine. Hands press into the earth. Hold your cat pose. Take a few breaths. Inhale, come to cow. And let's flow with the breath. Exhale, cat stretch. Move intuitively here. Let your eyes close and just let the hands press in as they want. Let the weight shift in the shoulders and the hips and the feet. Listening to your breath. One more. Come back to tabletop position. Lean back to child's pose and turn the right cheek toward the earth. So if you're up in your child's pose, you really will just be turning your face to the left, like lifting the left cheek up toward the earth, right face, left cheek up toward the sky, right cheek down toward the earth. If you're in child's pose, you can just rest right cheek to the earth. And breathe here deeply into your left side. 5 rounds. Concentrating on the belly breath, opening into the belly, feeling that expansion. The exhale, softening you, cooling you, and just calming you as well. Inhale, one more. Exhale. And move through center and to the other side. Breathing now into that top right nostril. 5 rounds. Part of the problem with that out of balance vata and that feeling of overwhelm and anxiety is that even when you aren't out of control with that overwhelm and anxiety, there's still sometimes that inability to sit still, to concentrate. Let's come up into tabletop and then press into plank pose. Let's hold this strong pose that your mind has to concentrate on, and breathe deeply. Knees can come down. Don't strain your wrists or your shoulders here. Have enough awareness that you carry. Bring knees down if necessary. Breathe into the belly. Listen to the sound of your breath. Take 2 more. Really notice how the body is feeling here. Are you starting to feel taxed or are you comfortable? If knees are still up, bring them down. And slowly exhale, bring the belly and the heart to the earth. 3 breaths, cobra pose. Feel the whole belly, the torso moving just on the strength of that breath. Our diaphragm is a muscle just like any other muscle, and it is sadly underutilized in about 99% of us. So right here, take 1 more diaphragmatic breath. Feel that muscle open right there at the base of your lungs or the base of your rib cage. Press back, downward facing dog. Turn your head to the left as you inhale. Exhale back to center. Inhale, face turns right. Exhale back to center. Bend the knees, walk the hands back. Find your forward fold. Half lift. Fold in. All the way up, press through the feet, reach through the arms. Hands to your heart, Tadasana pose, thumbs to the sternum, nice and tall in the spine, jaw relaxed, feet comfortably pressing in. And stepping to the top of your mat, feet press in, palms press forward, face lifts up. As you inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold in. Lift your heart, inhale, fold in. Come all the way up. Listen to the breath, reach. Hands to your heart. Elbows press out. Shift the weight to the right foot. Left foot steps back and then open into the hips. Knees are straight. We're coming into triangle pose or triangle stretch. Hips are square and level. Bring hands to your hips and check in with that. Typically we come into this weird or off-kilter alignment, but if you concentrate and find that space, you just notice your alignment. And legs stay long here. Lift into the shoulders and then reach out through the arms. Inhale here as you look out over the right fingers. As you exhale, reach forward, forward, forward. Let that left hip come up a little as the right hip dips under. Right hip or right hand to the shin. Lift up and then find a Vayu mudra with left hand only. Looking up if it's comfortable for your neck. Otherwise, look down and listen to your breath. As you inhale, left arm reaches up. Find your long arms both reach out. Feet come forward, hands to your hips. And dip side to side into your hips. Press into left heel, left toes come out. And then hips are forward and level. Arms reach out. Inhale, stretch long. As you exhale, reach out to the left. Left hand down as the right hip and the right arm reach up. And then Vayu Mudra, right hand. Breathing deeply. Listen. Inhale, reach up. Arms out. Hands to your hips. Feet center. Inhale, lift the heart. And from the hips, fold forward. Keep hands on your hips. This is a more intense version of forward fold, but it also makes you notice how you are feeling here. Have a feeling that you're pressing long through the tailbone and the crown of the head, length through the neck, the shoulders reaching away from the ears. A little more oomph in your life, you can reach the arms forward. Imagine that you're holding on to a big beach ball. Slowly lift up, nice and tall. And hands reach back behind you, interlacing fingers if it's okay for you, otherwise just pressing palms together. Keep the heart lifted, inhale. Exhale, slowly fold in. If fingers aren't interlacing for you, you can simply rest your hands to your sacrum as well. We're going for a little bit of a chest stretch here. Pressing from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Really notice your posture here. Yoga really is one of those things, the more you know, the more you notice. Just noticing what you need to know about you today. Hands to your hips, slowly float up. Arms reach up, inhale. And holding on to that imaginary beach ball, fold forward. And then bring your hands to the earth and let your hands start to help you now into a deeper position. You can press the palms in to the earth, and as you exhale and as that space opens up, you can try to bring the belly toward the thighs a little more, crown of the head toward the earth. You can use hands on the ankles or the shins. You can also reach back behind. I know some of you are very close to bringing head to the earth. You can press the hands together if you're close, finding that connection. Breathe deeply, one more. Lift up to a half lift. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold in. All the way up, press through the feet, reach through the arms. Hands to your hips, heel toe the feet together, and step forward to Tadasana pose, top of the mats. And hands to your sides via mudra, both fingers press into the feet. Feel the finger pad of the index finger pressing into the pad of the thumb, the base of the thumb. Those three fingers stretching out. As you inhale, turn the face to the left. Exhale, center. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. Just having patience for the breath. Inhale, left. And exhale, center. Inhale, right. And exhale, center. Release the mudra, reach the arms, inhale. Exhale, fold in and step back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Find stillness in your dog pose. Inhale, turn the face left. Exhale, center. Inhale, turn right. Exhale, center. We'll take one more round. Knees can come down if you need them to. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. No rush at all. Inhale, right. And exhale, center. Rock forward, plank pose, inhale. Knees come down and slowly lower. Let's work that diaphragm, tops of the feet to the earth, 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Maybe even reach the palms back behind you. Really check in with your diaphragm today. How are you breathing? Press back, child's pose. Bring the right cheek toward the earth. 5 slow breaths as you rest. Feeling this calming with the exhale and calming with the inhale. Very gently lift up through center and left cheek to the earth. Lift forward, downward facing dog. Bend into your knees, step forward to your fold. Exhale. Half lift, lengthen out. And fold. Press down, reach up. Hands to your heart. Shift the weight to the right foot. Left foot steps back, coming into a high lunge position. Take a breath here in a tall spine. And then drop the left foot down, open out into your hips, coming into a warrior 2, and you might have to lengthen out a little bit. Arms reach out, and let's find a Vayu mudra, palms pressing up, and look out over the right front fingers. Except take a little glance at that left arm. Is it really coming out from your shoulder, or are you somewhere down here? Find that length, that reach. Warrior 2 is a strong stance for the body, for the legs, for the root, for everything, to find the steadiness. And then we're controlling our air here. We're controlling our overwhelm and our breath and our air. Breathe here. Find your space. Find your strength. Hands release to your hips. Come forward with the hips and that right foot. And then other side. We're going to come all the way around into our warrior 1, or our high lunge. Hips are facing the back of the mat now, hands to your heart. Take a breath. And then open out through that right foot again, opening out into the right hip. And then arms reach out from each other, looking out over the left front fingers. Palms press up and finding Vayu Mudra. Breathe deeply. Hands relax to the hips. Bring the toes forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Hands stay on the hips. Exhale, fold in. Once you're here, those arms can reach out for your imaginary beach ball. Breathe deeply here. Fingertips to the earth. Turn the right toes toward the front of the mat and bend into the knees a few times, or bend into the right knee. And then back to center. Left toes reach to the back of the mat and bend. Just finding a little movement in the hips. And then come to center again. And right toes reach to the front of the mat. Find that stretch. And then left toes. And if this is enough for you, you'll stay here. If you can, you'll start to walk the hands over to the front of the mat and drop into a lunge. And then come through center and to the other side. Just finding that space in your Achilles tendon, in your calf, and in your hips. Take soft, open mouth exhales as you come to one side, then the other, just releasing any tension or stress from the bones, from the joints, from your mind. Walk over to the right side. Runners stretch, and then left arm, left palm to the earth, right arm reaches up for our twist, and Vayu Mudra, right hand only, reaching up, opening through your space. Right hand comes down and walking through center over to the other side. Find your long runner stretch. And then right hand down, left arm reaches, and Vayu Mudra. Breathing deeply here. Using the science of yoga to bring calm and awesomeness into your body. True story. Breathe one more. Hands down, walk center, fold in nice and slow. Use your hands to help you notice if you've opened up more space here. Does this feel a little easier, a little more accessible? Find a half lift. Walk the hands to the front of the mat, step back to your dog pose, and then knees down, child's pose. Forehead to the earth, breathe, center. Really expand out through the sides of your ribs here. Feel as though you're using your entire lungs capacity. And remembering that everyone's microphone is off, we're going to take 7 exhales with a bumblebee breath, just very gently touching the teeth together so that you can feel the vibrations. You can stay in child's pose. I came up so that my voice isn't muffled as I'm talking to you, but you can stay in child's pose for this. I actually recommend child's pose just so that you can really feel the vibrations through the belly, through the chest, and through the face and head. So teeth press lightly together, and the exhale is a very soft hum, a very soft buzzing noise like a bumblebee. So take a slow, deep inhale, and we'll do this 7 breaths together. Inhale. And a slow, buzzing exhale, soft. Another breath, number 2. Inhale. Number 4. Keep going. Last 2. Slowly lift up, tabletop position. Stretch the right knee forward in between the hands, coming down to sit to the heel if it's accessible to you. Otherwise, you might look a little more up like this. Forearms down to the earth. If you can, you bring the heel and the hip together, reaching the left leg back. This is a really good stretch for the right top ankle and that left hip flexor groove as you reach back, and you can settle to your forearms or maybe even reach all the way out. And then breathe here deeply into the belly and notice this is a reverse wind release position, and it's a really good way to get into the belly and help with the settling of all of the air there. So breathing slowly and gently. Slowly walk hands up. Shift the weight to the right hip, moving to pigeon stretch. The difference between this and pigeon stretch is simply the shape of our leg. And so the heel, that right heel starts to flex out, the left leg comes back again. And you can keep that heel flexing this far toward the body and keep it in this nice, gentle angle. If it's okay though, you'll bring the shin out more parallel to the mat. And you can even come to sit on the blanket. The right hip can rest to the blanket. If you're more up like this, you can bring a little bit of a height, a little bit of cushion there. And then again, your choice, you can stay up, you can walk to forearms, or you can walk all the way out, finding this comforting stretch in the right hip. And we're going to turn our face left now so that we're breathing into left side nostril while we're stretching into our right side hip. 5 breaths. Just bringing this little bit of balance, the left side of our body, our feminine side, the right side is our masculine side. Just bringing that balance, breathing through the left nostril, and relaxing the right hip. 2 more rounds. Slowly lift up, hands press to the earth, and press it back to tabletop or downward facing dog. Bring some space into the legs again, especially that right side, noticing the work that you just did, noticing that space that you opened. And the left knee starts to slide forward. And this one's a little bit of a balancing act, especially if you're not able to come all the way down. So hold yourself steady while you're trying to lengthen out there through that right front thigh and settle the weight into that left front ankle. You can stay up or walk in as you'd like. Keeping forehead and face fairly centered here in this almost balanced pose where the whole body is nice and long. Just breathe center. Feel that massage of the left belly pressing into the left thigh. Walk your hands in. And we'll shift the weight to the left hip as we move to pigeon pose. You can bring a blanket under the hip as you'd like. And come back to center with the hips as you're ready. Walk forward as you're ready. And only coming down to a position that feels accessible and comfortable to you. Pigeon pose is, you can always lift up a little, you can always go a little deeper, you just find that happy medium. Then as you do come forward, just turn the right face up toward the sky and breathe deeply here, directing the breath to the right nostril as you relax into that left hip. Lift back up. Pressing back to tabletop or downward dog, stretch into the left leg. And child's pose. And 7 breaths, bumblebee breath, clench the teeth very gently together. Deep inhale, forehead to the earth. Exhale and hum. Last two. Reach yourself back up, and we'll come over to grounding pose. Blanket handy, socks back on or sweatshirt back on as you'd like. Hugging in with the knees. Feet come down to the earth. Roll your shoulder blades underneath. The right ankle comes across at the left thigh. We're going to come to a twist here with our legs in pigeon stretch. If it's too much for you, you'll just uncross the legs and stay in a comfortable knee-to-knee position. And let's bring arms out to a T shape for leverage, palms pressed down. Then the sole of the right foot starts to come over to the left side of the body. If it's too much to keep the ankle crossed, you can simply press the sole of the foot to the left thigh. Sometimes that's a nice variation, or just get rid of the pigeon altogether and bring the knees together. Face turned right. And concentrate here on breathing into the left side belly, the left side heart, the left side nostril. And come back to center. Releasing down. High left ankle crosses. Find your way to your twist. You can find the variation that feels right to you on this side, staying with your pigeon, stepping the left foot to the right leg, or perhaps bringing the knees together. Turn the face left and breathe deeply into the right nostril, the right lung, the right belly. Bring the face center, leg center. Now we're moving to Shavasana pose. You can add any movement right here that you need to in order to be able to calmly rest. You can cover up with the blanket. We're going to take 7 more breaths together in our bumblebee exhale with our hands in our Vayu mudra, just moving the air through the body, directing our energy in a purposeful and mindful way. So Vayu mudra in the hands, the thumb squishing that index finger inward, right there at that first knuckle. The other 3 fingers reaching long, stretching out, noticing even if this stretch is a little more accessible to you. And we'll take 7 breaths here into our spine. into our chakra system. So nice slow deep inhale at the root, right there at the base of the spine. Exhale in that hum. Inhale to your belt line right there at the spine. And exhale, hum. Inhale into your belly. Exhale, hum. Inhale into your heart. Exhale, hum. Inhale into your throat. Exhale, hum. Inhale into your forehead. Exhale, hum. Inhale into the crown of your head, the very top. Exhale, hum. Relax the hands, put the palms down and rest. Start to deepen your breath. Coming back to this space. And noticing how you feel. What are the effects of your practice today? Start to add movement into the body, stretching. Bend into your knees, turn to your right side, take a breath. And come on up into a comfortable seated position. Hands pressed to your heart in Anjali Mudra. This position for the hands to rest in gratitude. Eyes closed, just bowing to your inner voice, your inner teacher. Let's take the sound of let's take the sound of three ohms together, ending class with a lifting of our vibrations. Slow inhale. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourselves today. Namaste.